Chapter 1. The title of this chapter is called The Day I Met Them. Hi, I am Asher, and this is how I learned about God, the gods, and supernatural. Well, it all started when I was at school. Flashback to when he was at school 3 years ago. I am looking up stuff on my phone, and my best friend Michael and my brother Noah were talking to me, but I was zoning out, but stopped when I hear them say, "We should go to the forest behind Grandpa and Grandma's house." Noah says, and Michael says, "Oh, yeah, we could hang out in the woods there." I look a bit shaken, since I have seen wolves there, but I didn't mind them. I loved wolves. But Noah and Michael would attack the wolves if they saw the wolves. I say, how about not? There is wolves in those woods. Noah says, but you go in there all the time. And I say with pride, because I actually like the woods and helping Grandpa and Grandma out with cleaning up the path. Michael says, then we can go somewhere else. Later that week, I go to my grandparents' house and I knock on their door. And Grandma opens the door and she says, "Hi, sweetheart, come in. I walk into my grandparents' house and my grandma smiles and says, How has school been, sweetheart? Can you go to the woods and pick up some blueberries? There are some good ones your grandfather grown in the woods near the lake." And I say, "No problem. No promises. I eat some blueberries on my way back, and school has been good." My grandpa says from the living room, "Take a gun with you. I heard some wolves have been getting closer to the lake more often." I say to my grandpa, "Sure, I bring one anyways, just in case of a bear." My grandpa nods and I go to the woods and I start to walking the path with a bucket so I can carry the blueberries. And as I walk to the path deeper and deeper into the woods, I find the lake and I say, "Finally, the damn lake." I go up to the lake and I look around for the blueberries. When I find them, I start putting them in the bucket. As I do this, I see a wolf, but it seems wrong. It has pure white fur, like snow, but beautiful golden eyes, and when he sees me, I freeze, like I saw him, like I had seen him before. And when I finished getting the blueberries, I stood up and I took a picture of the wolf, and I quickly run back up the path back to my grandparents' house. And it felt like someone or something was watching me. But the wolf didn't follow, and when I got back to my grandparents' house, I realized I had left the bucket at the lake. And when I look back to the path, I see the bucket behind me, like I had never left it at the lake, which I quickly grab the bucket and get to the porch of my grandparents' house, and I look back and I saw something big, with deer horns and a shape like a deer, but with a deer skull as a head. It was standing near the edge of the woods, and I blinked, and it had disappeared in thin air. And I go inside, and I look pale as a ghost. My grandpa says, as he looks at me, "Whoa, what happened?" My grandma takes the blueberries into the kitchen while my grandpa asks me what happened. And I say, a wolf, bigger than a normal male wolf, and with white fur like Snow White and golden eyes, was at the lake. And I ran back here, but I realized I had left the bucket at the lake, and I turned back, but before I could run back to the lake, the bucket was behind me, and the wolf didn't even follow me. And I thought someone or something was watching me, and when I got on to the porch, with the bucket, I looked back as I thought I saw a deer on its back legs with a deer skull as its head staring at me. But when I blinked, it was gone. It was on the edge of the woods. My grandpa and grandma's faces pale, and they say those weren't normal animals. They were. End of chapter 1. Suffer and wondering what the animals were. Chapter 2 starting soon. Bye. Sorry for all the stuttering. I am in a rush, and for the next week I won't be posting. And hope you guys have a good time. Please rate this story in the comments, and chapter 2 will start soon, right after next week. Bye!